And so now we move on to quarterfinal action in Pro Modified, and our first matchup will be Ed Hoover from Columbia, South Carolina, going up against Killer Brooks out of Youngstown, Ohio.
Brooks with a new Beretta powered by a 615 cubic inch engine. Now these cars all are injected on nitrous oxide unless they're blown cars.
Killer Brooks, number 18 in points on the series. Ed Hoover, the winner of the first event in Pro Modified at the Winter Nationals in Darlington, South Carolina, number 4.
Brooks advanced into this position by beating Manny DeJesus from New York, New York. Hoover bumped off Ronnie Sox in the first round to get here.
Sox, the more immediate winner. He won the Gateway Nationals in St. Louis. The cars are away cleanly. Hoover has a little bit of an advantage in the left lane, and he holds it to the finish.
Wow, look at the time for Hoover. 7.16, 202.84. There's that 200-mile-an-hour figure again.
Boy, it wasn't long ago that we were looking for our first 200-mile-an-hour run. Now we get them all the time. Our next matchup will be this man, Mike Ashley, with that incredible run at 6.96. He'll go up against Eddie Harris out of Rochester, New York. He's a big favorite here.
Well, the crowd went crazy when Eddie Harris bumped off Tim McAmis, the current number 2 man in the point, because you can bet this crowd is pulling for the Rochester guy. Although Mike Ashley, they call him the kid from New York, is from Melville, New York, just outside New York City. An all-New York showdown on this one.
Ashley beat Bill Coolman, the original superstar in Pro Modified, in the first round. Now he'll take on the upstart Eddie Harris, who breaks at the line. But look at what happens to Ashley. He's all the way in the other lane.
Ashley didn't have any choice. He had both front wheels completely off the ground, and the car just steered itself over there. Now, that's truly unfortunate because under International Hot Rod Association rules, Ashley is disqualified for crossing the center line. Harris, ironically enough, has to do absolutely nothing except go to the scales and weigh.
Let me disagree with you a little bit there, Ted. I think it's fortunate that Harris broke. Otherwise, he might have been in the same part of the racetrack as Ashley when he came across the center line. Scary moment. Ashley will put it back on the trailer, and we'll move on to the next round, featuring Scotty Cannon in this incredible Willys coupe. He will be up against Blake Wiggins out of Monroe, North Carolina.
Well, the Wicked Wanda car bumped off Al Billies, who you saw just a little earlier in the show for setting that top speed. So Wiggins moves into round number 2 here. These guys are practically next-door neighbors. Very good friends, Bob.
And a red light in the left lane for Blake Wiggins, and that'll get Scotty Cannon an easy go of it, but he'll keep his foot in. He wants lane choice in the next round.
Scotty, a 7.10, 194 miles per hour. Blake very wisely shuts off here. He sees the red light. No use to strain the engine.
And more importantly, Scotty Cannon's reaction time, 4:01, 1/1000th of a second away from perfect. Our next matchup will be Ken Karsten up against Freddie Hahn.
Well, Fred Hahn got into this round by defeating the first lady to ever qualify in Pro Modified. That was Carolyn Melindy from Howey, New Jersey. Hahn has a supercharged car that is owned by Jim Oddie, who's really famous in the Buffalo, New York area for his work with supercharged cars on alcohol.
There you see Fred Hahn. He'll be a big favorite here. Lots of folks have turned out from his hometown to watch him run. Ken Karsten hails from St. Ann, Missouri.
We'll remember Ken Karsten from last year when he actually had a Camaro on its top, and we witnessed it here on ESPN. So this guy's been on quite a ride before in these cars.
Great looking Corvette for Karsten. Hahn late getting staged. A little psych job going on here.
Oh, that's all a part of the game. Karsten ran a 692 in the most previous round, so I'll bet you Hahn's got that on his mind right now.
Actually, Karsten the last one to get in, and now Hahn, now they're off, and Hahn gets a great start. Just leaps out of the box. Fred Hahn with the advantage. Now there's smoke coming from Karsten's car. Give it to Hahn.
Wow, Fred Hahn with a 707, 192 miles per hour, straight as a string. Here's the problem. Creeping along that center line was Kenny Karsten, and the shortest distance between 2 points is not over 1,320 feet.